Okay, so I have no idea what's happening over at Worlds, but it's some real interesting things going on. Let's talk about this. Now, I'm not using him because he's the biggest example, I'm just using him because he's recently been involved with Wolf Glick, and I also have recorded a video about that, which I am not going to release within the next week because Wolfie just lost at Worlds, and I'm not gonna kick a man while he's down. I am not too fond of what he did. Anyway, let's go over this. DQ'd at 2-0, or should have gotten my mons myself. Half my team was modified / gent. I didn't have Legends Arceus. Can people not get the fucking name right? To get the Lando. And I didn't have my copy of Sword and Shield to get Urshifu. I tried trading for months with a reputable trader, but the mons didn't pass. Here's the paste I was gonna use. Sorry all, I'll do better next time. Time to enjoy my time in Japan. Now, he's not the only one who got DQ'd. There are a couple of other examples. I'm just using him as an example, as I previously stated. So what's going on here? Is suddenly everyone who's playing competitive really bad, and everyone's lazy, and all of them are genning? Well, maybe. Possibly. Very likely. But it's not even that bad. I've made a video in the past where I talk about it's basically impossible to figure out what Pokemon is gent, because even completely trash IV Pokemon could potentially be gent. It doesn't have to be the maximum. You cannot see it at face value. Number two, this whole situation kind of feels interesting to me. Now, we know that TPC Korea had a big genning incident, like a big disqualification for gent incident, which I called out as a giant hoax. Whether or not that's true or not, I actually can't comment more than I would like to. However, I still think that TPC Korea was full of shit for disqualifying 4 players for bringing metronome teams, and then later saying that the Pokemons were actually hacked. It's potentially just gaslighting, maybe, but it's definitely deflection from the point that they fucked up. Now, half the team was gent modified. Fair enough. But it doesn't matter. If worse plays were made, that means the player's still going to lose. These Pokemon don't have 600 EVs in every set, and they don't have 999 stats and forbidden moves. When people talk about legally gent Pokemon, they mean Pokemon that are in the limits of the legality of what that Pokemon can do. And for that alone, these Pokemon should pass, no matter your stance on that. And whether or not that is a hot take in the VGC community, I honestly don't give a shit about. When I look at this whole situation of gent or not gent, this Pokemon has modifications of actually being IV'd to max, blah blah blah. I feel like I'm in kindergarten, listening to the bunch of 4-year-olds bickering among themselves. Fucking get over yourselves. What the fuck is happening here? At the end of the day, it's just a game. And you're gonna say, oh, but there's not money involved. It's not just a game when there's money involved. Wow, congratulations. You found one excuse that's halfway reputable to talk about this. At the end of the day, it still doesn't matter if the Pokemon were gent, as long as they are within the legal capabilities of what that Pokemon does. And this is one of the problems that Pokemon has, probably from now until the end of time, and it has had this problem for the last 10 years. People are taking this game so hyper seriously, and with VGC I can almost get behind that. Almost. It's this close. And at that point, I'm not sure if this is exactly the way that Pokemon should go. Not only with this in mind, but also the way that the DLC may be showing that Game Freak has no confidence in Scarlet and Violet. Video about that following soon. But like, seriously, can we just get over this fact of these people gen, it's lazy, it's this, it's this, don't like it. These Pokemon are not literal nukes you can drop on the player and insta-defeat them. You still have to be a better player to win. Is it lazy to gen / modify your Pokemon? Yes. Is it good manners? Fuck no. Bullshit. At the end of the day, is this giving a monumental advantage that no other player can ever go against? No. If you're a better player, you will defeat teams who are at their legal limit. Not a single reputable VGC player will ever build a team before they have not understood how the Pokemon functions, what it can do while doing it on Showdown, and doing damage calcs to figure out how to EV train their Pokemon. Not a single reputable VGC player misses one of these key points. And you're gonna tell me that even if they were to run around collecting eggs to farm the best Pokemon possible, they're not doing stuff in the background? 10 years ago, that was an issue before Showdown actually was a thing. Nowadays, this is a non-argument. But people just want to have a stepping stone to shit on people they just don't like. I think this is about as much as I can say on this topic. Again, I think I have made it pretty clear in the past that I'm not really fond of VGC, and I'm just commenting on this as I see it important that someone from the outside, while still being a Pokemon fan, but from the outside of the VGC perspective, takes a look at this and judges it objectively. Yes, they're all lazy. Yes, it's bad manners. But it doesn't change a thing that the better player would still win at the end of the match. I kind of went over that as well in the commentary I did about Wolfie. Again, he's not really looking good. And while Brady over here definitely is on the level of a thief, it still doesn't matter. You're gonna hear that in the Wolf Click video. Just stay tuned for that. I'm gonna go into a lot of long talking points because I think there's a lot to be said about that. This whole thing is potentially just a follow-up to the TPCK thing, where people were actually maybe misbehaving on stream in the match. I don't know. I don't watch them. I just comment on things that I think more likely than everyone genning and everyone suddenly getting DQ'd, while allegedly the last 20 events all had gen Pokemon. Where does the sudden shift in punishment come from? It just so happened that TPCK did something incredibly stupid and nonsensical. I think we can all get behind where the original thing actually lies. So if I had to give a closing statement, I think it would be genning isn't as consequential as people think, and I would leave it at that. And if you really think that money is such a big factor, then do it yourself. Go ahead, win worlds, get the money, be a reputable player who gets the money over a genner. If you're just a better player, you are going to win. It's really pathetic that we live in a time where people can make excuses of, but he saved 2 hours, therefore he was just superior in his plays. If you don't look at counters, that's your fault. If you don't know a matchup, that's your fault. If you haven't calced before, that's your fault. Someone has to come out with harsh truths, and I guess voice crack, and I guess it has to be me. If you didn't know that before, now you do. You're welcome. Until then, I'm Twisty, and I'm out. Stay safe, everyone. Of what that Pokemon does.